the one that speaks in a manner that sometimes makes you wonder how he came close to power. He climbed the podium and said the following things. I will bring him in, then we'll hear him out.
That he left behind. Now, I think for those of you who are social media warriors, there are issues here that you need to speak to. Go to Google and look at the first 6 months of Governor Obiano's administration in Anambra State. What you will find in YouTube is a Governor Obiano using bulldozers to demolish houses of kidnappers and those who were involved in what they refer to as Bakassi boys or even Bakassi girls. Who was the governor where Bakassi developed in Anambra? And who solved the problem? So if a man couldn't fix a security challenge in his own state, which require courage, how can he convince you that he will fix security challenge all over Nigeria? Don't take it from me. Go to YouTube and find out the first 9 months of Governor Obiano, and then ask yourself, who was his predecessor? As I said, I don't want to look for trouble. I'm a smallish man. Anybody can deal with me. Then ask Gogo, who was Obiano's predecessor? If he tell you, Peter. And so, if he has solved the security problem, will Obiano be demolishing, using bulldozer to demolish people's houses? For houses of kidnappers, Bakassi boys and Bakassi girls, bandits? So when they say, I will fix Nigeria, did you fix your state?
And the reason why this man is being referred to as the man with Viagra mouth, he spews nonsense. He spews nonsense as someone who has mouth erection. This is a man who understood nothing that happened in Anambra State. Yes, I am from Anambra State. That is my state. He talks about Bakassi and those sitting down there who apparently also have no idea of what happened in Anambra State. Are they clapping for him? Adams Oshiomole, lend me your ears. Let me drag you a little bit and give you some early morning sermon, if you may wish to listen to me. Adams Oshiomole, number one, Bakassi was created by Mbadinuju, when who used Bakassi boys. You asked us to go to Google. This evening, I would treat you with your own cup of medicine, because this medicine is the one you have, you are the pharmacist here. So you basically have recommended this, and we are going to do this as a community. And let's go, because I want to just teach Adams Oshiomole something that maybe he should, take less of whatever he takes. Now, what is Bakassi boys? According to Google, that he wants us to refer to, Bakassi boys are a group of Nigerian youth vigilantes in the southeastern region of Nigeria. Activities of vigilante group includes fighting, blah, blah, blah. Now, let's go to this. Now, when was Bakassi formed? In 1998 by Aba traders. They originally enjoyed the support of Governor Ojus Okalu, a member of the APC. He sensed the effectiveness of the group in combating the crime in Aba and environs. However, as the crime rate was going down in Aba, other eastern Igbo cities were not so lucky. And the crime rate in places like Onitsha was still rising. You see, at that time, when did Ojus Okalu become the governor? Mbadunju, that was in 1999. And if Bakassi The story has it that it started in 1998. The governors were sworn in May 29th, 1999, and some of them brought it in their state. Anambra State at that time also copied and accepted Bakassi under Mbadunuju. Before he spews such nonsense, he should have used his smartphone. I believe he has one. He should have used his smartphone to do some basic Googling. Anambra State, up to 2003, when there was election, Mbadunju lost. If you go back, I don't want to, bore us with so much details here. To one of the videos made by PeterObi, where he said that one of the reasons why when Professor Bisi convinced him to become a governor was when he was coming back as a banker in Onitsha, and he saw someone head severed from the body by the Bakassi, and he thought to himself, this is high level of barbarism. Human beings, how can we get to this level? But the thing here is, if a man won an election in 2003 and another man took that seat illegally for 3 years, and in 2006 he took over. By the time he took over, there was nothing like Bakassi in Anambra State. Therefore, there was no link. There was no link between Peter and Bakassi. When Peter came into office, what he did was to establish what is known as Anambra Vigilante Services. He established it and he equipped them with pickup trucks, to the point that the police at that point was praising Anambra State, that Anambra State had the best, was one of the safest states in Nigeria. Now, we can go to the archive because Oshiomole has challenged us. Again, one of the nonsense he spewed here is that Obiano was destroying houses. But he forgets to tell the clapping audience that he was the first person that put into law, if your house is discovered to be a kidnapper den, that means they kidnap someone, take the individual into your house, kept the individual in your house, that house, as a means of deterrence, will be destroyed. Not you will be arrested. Of course, you will be arrested, but that house will be destroyed. If you have a house in Lagos, he will make sure that he goes to Lagos and meets the Lagos state governor and ensure that that house in Lagos also, which is a proceed of crime, is also destroyed. Mr. Oshiomole, come again. Let me drag your left ear. And let's go back to when PeterObi was the governor of Anambra State. How he worked with the police and dealt with kidnappers. Evans, the billionaire kidnapper, ran away from Lagos. This video, I still have the clip of that video. Evans ran away from Anambra to Lagos. When he was caught by Abba Kyari, the teller, the DSS teller, the one that makes clothes for Abbas, the hush puppy, hush mamas and hush papas. He said that the reason why he left Anambra was that Anambra was too hot. And who was the governor when Evans ran away from Anambra? PeterObi. Peter wasn't shaking them, giving them beans and basket and granite. No. He dealt with them in the words of President Muhammadu Buhari, in the language they understand. That was Evans confessing that he ran away because the land was too hot for them. If the land was too hot for them, then let's now bring the video and clips.
Essentially, he has restored relative peace to the state, creating an enabling environment for inflow of investments and new industries. Fact.
This is a report by Channels TV. Watch.
The state governor, Mr. PeterObi, in the company of numerous heavily armed security agents, stormed the compound of a notorious criminal suspect, Olisa Ifejika, said to have specialized in armed robbery and kidnapping, to carry out an action that will linger in the memory of the people.
This state made a law that if your property is used for this criminal activity, the state will confiscate the property, will demolish the property, and this particular property represents the worst of it.
The demolition followed the arrest of the suspect and the recovery of assorted arms and ammunition hidden in plastic containers concealed behind the bungalow. The Anambra State Commissioner of Police said Mr. Ifejika had been on the list of most wanted criminal suspects in 2001 and linked to a series of high-profile crimes including armed robbery and kidnapping.
The following arms and ammunition were recovered from an underground armory in his house. Number 1, 27 AK-47 rifles, 1 K2 rifle, 2 Type 06 rifles, 1 general purpose machine gun, 1 rocket launcher, 17 rockets.
At that material point in time, question then is, you want me to show you more videos?
Grenades.
The governor appears set to see the suspect's business empire crumble completely.
We will go after his businesses. We will go after the business of all that is involved in this criminality. I heard that he operates a hotel in Omaya. When I get back to the office now, I'm going to contact my senior brother in Omaya and request that that hotel be sealed.
The demolished structures comprise the bungalow, a 2-story building, and an extended building behind the bungalow, suspected to be a cell where kidnapped victims were kept in custody. The building had initially been partly razed by the police during the operation that led to the arrest of the suspect. The police confirmed he was in his residence drinking at the time of arrest at about 8 a.m. on Monday, September 3rd. The suspect's father is a native doctor, while his mother is a petty trader dealing in women's underwear. Both are currently in police custody.
These properties were destroyed. As simple as that. Someone is telling you how we're going to deal with its insecurity, because here we have a general, a military general for that matter, a military general for that matter. You have him as your president. There is insecurity everywhere. Oshiomole asked us to go and use Google. We are going to use Google now. So let's go to Google and let's bring in the report. Now, whatever happens, I'm not going to use any report from Njenje Media. I'm going to go use a different site. Let us look at these people. If you can see my screen, let's have a look. People. Let's have a look. Watch this. Anambra State. This is now, let me make it bigger, sorry. Okay, let me make it bigger. Now, you can see that here, Anambra State. This report was 11th of April, 2014. 11th of April, 2014. 3 months of, after handing over, is it? Handover was, handover wasn't May. Couple of months after handing over. And the police is, now this policeman, watch this. This policeman is not from Anambra, but is telling you, okay? Now look at this first statement. Abubakar, who is the then, head of police, saying, who was speaking at the Women Development Center, Oka, at the State Stakeholder Summit, announced that there was no bank robbery in the state in the last 5 years during former Governor PeterObi. There was no what? There was no what? Bank robbery. He urged Governor Willie Obiano to emulate his predecessor. Can someone please send this to Adams Oshiomole if you know him? This was written in 2014. He said, he urged, now the head of police is saying, Willie Obiano, please emulate whatever Peter Obi did, because for 5 good years, there was no single bank robbery in Anambra State. The Inspector General of Police, IG, Ogatpatakpata of the police all said, the Inspector General held the relationship between the police and the government under under Peter Obi. What was Peter Obi doing? He helped the police. Now, but the thing is, and this is where I think Adams Oshiomole and his gang are not smart at all. Sorry. If we want to solve this problem of vigilante this, vigilante that, it's very simple. Can we solve this problem by state police? Can we put structure to them? These were things they promised, quote unquote, when you talk about promise, when they said they were going to restructure. These were the things that they, that should be contained in any serious restructuring document. If the APC was any way serious, they should be, they should be doing something in that line to restructure Nigeria towards what they promised Nigerians, not what they didn't promise Nigerians. Because the man is just basically talking absolute nonsense, arrant nonsense. One of the mistakes we've made in the past is to say, he's just talking nonsense, and you do not respond. And when you do not respond, when a lie is told so many times, those who are not well informed or those who are not well versed in the subject matter will think that the individual is making sense or that the individual is actually saying the truth. But in this case, the individual is talking absolute and arrant nonsense. And in this case, that's what Adams Oshiomole is talking about. Adams Oshiomole is talking nothing but arrant nonsense.